The DAZN boxing show is on the road from Newcastle, where this Saturday night Josh Kelly defends his WBO International Super Welterweight title against undefeated Argentinian Gabriel Corzo. We'll also look ahead to a packed undercard here and also preview the second part of our DAZN doubleheader this weekend as Detroit sees the homecoming of Alicia Baumgardner as she rematches Christina Linadatu for the undisputed super featherweight crown. This weekend, this man, Josh Kelly, takes on Gabriel Corzo in defence of his WBO international strap at 154 pounds. Great to have you on DAZN.
Thank you, brother. Good to
Great
be
to
on.
have you on DAZN.
Good
It's
to
nice.
be on.
It's nice to have you. Have you vacated the British?
Yes, I have. I've just I vacated around about a month back, I think. Maybe a little bit longer, but we were talking about it for a while because I'm going into that new level. I want to get into that world level. Well, I am that world level at the moment. So
100%. I was just saying that to anyone that could listen to me. I was saying after that Troy Williamson performance, and he was British champion, the way in which you beat him so comfortably, you're clearly above British level. Yeah,
bro. And people were talking about Troy going into the world level than European level. So I definitely, I know I'm in that world level. So get my name amongst them guys. Well, my name should already be amongst them guys, but I just think I'm one of the guys who they don't want to fight because they want all the money, and I'm here for the belts. I'm here to become number one. I'm not necessarily here to chase a lot of money. If the money comes, it's a bonus, but I'm here to take that number one spot.
Yeah, I'll touch on your opponent in a minute, Gabriel Corzo. Obviously unbeaten, so he brings his own problems. But you must look at that world level. Charlo will vacate. Obviously after the Canelo fight, so those belts are going to be scattered. You're number 2 in the WBO. Is it now in the sort of forefront of your mind, like, okay, we want one of those?
Yeah, bro. I'm going to be number 1 probably after this fight. There's that guy above us is moving on to the IBF route. Like you said, Charlo scattering the belts. So you got Tim Tszyu at the top. Am I confident in fighting Tim Tszyu? Of course I am. I mean, the guys in the gym I've been sparring with, big, hard middleweights and super middleweights, they've all been testing us and I've been holding my own. So, and these are world-class fighters, not just domestic level fighters. So I'm ready for that. And then in the meantime, if there's any big domestic fights where I pick up, I'm ready for them as well.
Yeah, you've got options. You've got your fingers on all the pulses, which is good. Gabriel Corzo, 18-0. A bit of an unknown. We don't know too much about him. All the fights he's had have been in Argentina, but that almost brings its own danger because we can't go and look at his fights on YouTube. You kind of don't know what to expect on Saturday.
He's going to find out. He's going to find out, bro. So that's the beauty of it. Saturday, he's going to find out.
Did you look at his record and think, okay, he's only got the 3 knockouts. Does that make you feel like you can sort of run through him, or do you have to be cautious?
Nah, I don't. I never really try and run through anybody, to be honest. I go out there and box the way I need to box. And when I heard him, and when he sits down off that first round, he'll think, different country, different atmosphere. They've never boxed anyone like this. It's all going to come home to roost. So I cannot wait to get in there and start lacing them boots up and do what I do best. Yeah,
it's been a year now at 154-pound division. I said just before off camera that you look really big and strong at the weight. What's it like now? Do you kind of feel like you filled out into the division now?
Yeah, I'm a natural 154. I've always knew I needed to go to 154, especially later on in my career. I'm probably in my prime at the moment. I wouldn't say that. I would say I've got a lot of years left. I'm not putting a lot of miles on the clock. I'm not one of them guys who take a lot of shots in there. So 154 was definitely the move. Even when I was younger, I was going to move to 154 and build there because I was really tight at welterweight. So now I feel strong. I feel like a man. I feel like I'm changing every day in the gym. I mean, even since the Troy fight to now, my development within the shape and my fitness and everything just went up another level. So I feel like I'm strong. I'm ready to really put a statement on.
It was 3 fights in 2022. You were busy. Obviously, Troy was the back end of that. This is the first fight so far this year. Is that a slight disappointment? Did you want to get out earlier, or you've just got your own plan now? You know what you're doing?
Yeah, I mean, I was in the gym, so I was in the gym, but if it comes, it's come when it's come, and if it's meant to come now, it's meant to come now. So everything comes when it's meant to come, I believe. So it is what it is. I've been given a beautiful chance to keep moving forward and pushing forward and get myself in the mix. But like I said before, I believe I am in the mix, but they just don't want to mention this because I'm a bit of a bogeyman. So. Yeah, you see a good performance on Saturday. Yeah,
I think they know you're in the mix. I think no one after that Troy fight, they can't deny how good you are now. I think that surprised a lot of people. Good domestic fights available for you as well, isn't it? There's people floating around there. That Conor Ben one's never going to go away.
Yeah, exactly.
He looks like he wants to fight 154 pounds. If you had your pick domestically, is that the one you would like?
Yeah, him, Eubank, any of them guys there.
Some good fights there.
I believe full-heartedly they want nothing to do with me. I'm the only one with a belt at the moment. Well, I had a belt, I vacated it, but I'm the only one with a substantial belt and ranking in the British title and number 2 in the WBO. So I'm there, but people just don't want to mention it. But like I says, I'm there to get the belts. I'm not there to make these fantasy fights and get money. So I'm, like I said, the money's nice, but I want to become number 1.
Yeah. Final one. I know you probably like to predict what's going to happen in the future. This time next year, are we fighting for world titles? Are we right there, bang in the mix?
Yeah, 100% at the Stadium of Light.
Can I get one of these tracksuits?
Yeah, bro, of course
Proper,
you can. I've got some
proper.
spares, upstairs, you know.
Extra large.
Oh, you're going to have to knock the room. I'll dish them out, don't worry.
Josh Kelly, Gabriel Corzo, this weekend, live on DAZN. Should be a fantastic fight. This man's always in fantastic fights.
A win will put Kelly within touching distance of a shot at the world title.
Oh, nice right hand there for Kelly.
The unbeaten Corzo will be a tricky opponent for the Brit.
It's all going down in Newcastle.
You don't want to miss this one.
I think every fight card should have a heavyweight fight. I think it's important. It's always good to see the big boys in action. Don't get much bigger than this man does it. Steve Robinson, obviously local lad as well, takes on Franklin Ignatius. How you doing, Steve?
I'm good. How are you?
Not bad, not bad at all. How was camp?
Good. Long.
Yeah?
Been very long. Setbacks, knockbacks. We've been promised the world since February.
Yep.
Been sparring Usyk over back in February. Got told we're fighting here in April. Come back. April bounced back to May bounced back to June bounced back to July. So, we're 4 months into a camp now. So it's been long, but focused, and I'm ready.
Yeah, it must be annoying because I remember seeing an interview with you sort of back end of last year and you were like, I just want to fight. Give me fights every couple of months, and this is your first fight this year. So it must be annoying, all those cancellations.
It is, but at the same time, I always say without motivation, without determination, motivation becomes nothing. And you've got to have determination, to outweigh the motivation. So, there's times when I can't be asked to go into the gym, there's times when I cannot be bothered to do things, but it's about being determined to go in, do them pads, do that run, do that, whatever it may be. So I'm just ready now to go and showcase, and then hopefully after the back of this, we can get some, fights, 2, 3 before the end of the year.
Yeah, I think that's what people want to see. We want to see you in the ring. Last time out against Campbell, it's exciting. People want to see that all the time. Another 8-rounder. How do you prepare for those jumps from 4s to 6s to 8s?
I think everyone will be able to see that I'm quite a slow starter. I've always been a slow starter. I had 44 amateur fights. I lost 6 of them, all on a decision, due to starting slow. So I've always been one for 4, 6 or 8. So the 4-rounders that I've been in, I've only been in 2 of them. Were probably not my best performances because, I'm not the quickest of starters. I never have been. So stepping up to 8 was never a step up. It's something we've always worked on in the gym. Even when I was an amateur, I was sparring 6, I was sparring 8. So, we'll just go again, and hopefully it's not going to go the 8.
Franklin Ignatius this weekend. Do you know much about him? Have you watched him on tape?
I don't. I never do. Never
do. You not? No?
Done the same with Campbell. Listen, I've got my attributes. I've got my mindset. That can't change. I can't change my attributes. I don't. All I need to know is whether he's southpaw or he's orthodox. Simply for me pad man, for me sparring. That's it. Don't care what Franklin's got to bring. Don't care what any of my opponents have got to bring. All I can do is go in there, give me best, and that's it. And I know my best will be good enough.
You mentioned the Usyk sparring. I mean, that must be incredible. Going in there with arguably the pound-for-pound number 1 must be fantastic.
It is, but at the same time, it's sparring.
Yeah.
I don't. It's not something I talk about. It's irrelevant. The only reason why I mentioned it is because we were over there and we come back for a fight. It was sort of where camp started. Sparring's irrelevant. You're there to learn. You're not there to do anything other than learn. It's like a pre-season friendly in football terms. Newcastle have got Gateshead on the weekend, who are 5 leagues below. If we get beat, does that mean we're going to get relegated to 5 leagues? No. None of that means anything coming into this. Obviously you're learning, but at the same time, he's practicing things, I'm practicing things you don't get to see the real him. You don't get to see the real me in sparring. So sparring, I'm not one of these who's I've sparred him, I've sparred him, because none of that means nothing come fight night.
Yeah. Is a win the most important thing? Do you go in there thinking I want a knockout, need a knockout? Is it just getting the W?
Just getting the W. Yeah. It's nothing means anything. Whether or not on box rec it says TKO, whether it says knockout, or whether it says
want that
W.
green W.
I just want that green W. And on to the next one, because we get Franklin out of the ring, and then it's bigger and better things. We're ranked, I think, 11th now. In Britain. So after this, there's where this pitch we're sort of up there in the top 10. Then where do we go from there?
Final one from me. What is the plan? Are you looking at an area title, an English title? Is that what the plan is for the end of the year?
Definitely. I mean, I'm not getting any younger. I got into boxing to lose weight. 26-year-old, walked into a gym. 32 now, got into it is sort of a thing, because I was overweight off the back of a football injury, so never expected to be there. So when these trolls write on social media, he's never going to get out of the British level scene, he's only going to ever become a British champion. Jeez, if someone said to me...
It's not a bad thing.
If someone said to me 7 years ago, yeah, mate, you're going to be British champion in boxing, I'd say, well, thank you very much. Do you know what I mean? Like, every day is a learning day. Yeah. Every day, I never take anything on the chin. I always take every day. I'm blessed to be doing what I get to do every single day. And that's I'm in a fantastic position. So whatever comes off the back of this, fantastic. That, as I say, it means the world to be doing what I'm doing with a fantastic team, a fantastic sponsorship around us. I get to do what I want to do every day, so that's all I can do. Keep motivated, keep determined, and keep pushing forward.
I love that. Refreshing to hear that, isn't it? Should be a good one on Saturday. Steve Robinson takes on Franklin Ignatius. Bombs will go. I'm telling you, this one will not go the distance. 8 rounds expected.
And now entering the arena, Kelly!
The sheer power.
The Bomb Gardner! And look at Alicia. She's going for the gusto.
Hey Diaz, fight me. Creme de la creme right here. I'm coming for you.
Bludgeoned him with a huge right uppercut.
That's some real heavy hitting.
Big heavy hands again from Bams.
Calm, composed, Sonny Edwards.
Here's a reminder of what's coming your way with the main card this Saturday with 6 fights. We start with a female flyweight contest as Chloe Watson takes on Belen Valdebenito. Ben Marksby takes on Ricardo Fernandez. British super featherweight strap is up for grabs as Liam Dillon and Kez Ashfaq go head-to-head. There's a featherweight tussle between Cody Smith and Francisco Rodriguez. The co-main sees Newcastle's very own Steve Robinson tackle Franklin Ignatius. And then it's the WBO International Championship showdown as Josh Kelly faces the unbeaten Gabriel Corzo. And that's not all, because a few hours later we're in Detroit for more live boxing. We get things underway at 1 a.m. UK time with Jericho O'Quinn against Carlos Mejica. Heavyweight Jermaine Franklin is back in the ring when he faces Isaac Munoz. The co-main sees the very exciting Andy Cruz make his pro debut. He takes on Juan Carlos Burgos. And the showpiece is the homecoming of Alicia Baumgardner. She takes on the only lady to defeat her, Christina Linardato.
Todd Grisham here with Eddie Hearn in downtown Detroit, Michigan, the Motor City. You ever been here before?
No,
what do you think?
I'm enjoying it. I'm loving the weather, I'm enjoying the energy, and an important fight night for this city. I mean, they had Clarissa Shields here just a few weeks ago, and now their other undisputed champion, Alicia Baumgardner, in a really, really tough fight tomorrow.
Yeah, against Christina Linardato. What do you make of that matchup? Linardato obviously went away, had a child, she's back, and you saw she had the war hat on Hagler Hearns.
Honestly, this is a really, really tough fight. We keep talking about those flagship fights for Alicia, you know, Amanda Serrano, Katie Taylor, Chantel Cameron, Sandy Ryan, whoever that may be. this is a real test. It's her only defeat on her record. Leonardo is full of confidence. We had her in Manchester fighting Katie Taylor when she was the WBO 140-pound champion. She is tough as nails. She's relentless. Her energy, her engine is unbelievable. She thinks Alicia Baumgardner fades in fights, and she did last time, and that's how she managed to beat her. So for her, you've got to think, for everything she's been through, one chance to win all the belts. Alicia's been gathering those belts in really tough fights over the last few years. Leonardo too can come straight in and become undisputed in one fight. They are so up for this. This is going to be a great clash of styles. It's going to be an electric fight.
When you look at the landscape of women's boxing, it's unparalleled what Katie Taylor's been able to do in the ring. When you look for maybe an athlete that can really break out to a big-time superstar, Baumgardner's got the personality, she's got the fashion, she's got the look, she's got the hands. Is she the one female that's set up for success?
Yeah, I think so. I think, look, already she's a pound-for-pound great fighter, but in terms of stars, she's got that star quality. You know, we know that, you know, like you said, she's got, you know, all that. She's trendy, she's cool, she's everything. but look how she fights. Yeah. She entertains. She's always looking to knock people out. She's fast. Her shot selection is outstanding. She punches very hard. She's always willing to trade, and that's why this will be a great fight, because Leonardo too will be pressing her the whole fight. She'll hold her feet. She'll stand her ground, and she will go to war with her. They both should have had war hats on. But the great, you know, to be a superstar, you've got to have all those other things outside of the ring. But inside the ring, you've got to entertain time and time again. And when you have destructive punch power and you're willing to let your hands go and entertain, you're going to be a star if you've got all those other attributes. And I believe tomorrow's a big night for her career.
All right, we'll see it go down live here on DAZN from the Motor City, Detroit, Michigan, USA.
The crowd's going crazy. Then they're on knockout. Bang.
Oh, and here comes the bomb. What a performance from one of boxing's pound-for-pound queens. Look at the intensity from Baumgardner. She wants to end this right here.
This fight is going to show the world everything.
Alicia, the bomb Baumgardner.
July 15th, the fans will get a taste of what I've been wanting for a very long time. This is what I've been waiting for.
Here we are in Newcastle. Nice to be here as well.
Absolutely.
Kalle Sauerland with us. Look how sharply dressed he is. We were just talking about, is it Kalle or is it Eddie? Who's the best dressed?
Yeah, I'd always say the difference is Essex and London, but I'll let Eddie come back on that.
I'm not going to argue with that. We're here for Josh Kelly versus Gabriel Corzo. Josh Kelly defending his WBO International 154-pound strap. Going back very quickly, if we can, to that performance against Troy Williamson. I've not spoke to Josh since then. He was incredible.
You know, it was the closing of a chapter, because let's not forget the couple of years before it. You know, there was obviously the hype, the build-up, you know, being pushed as, you know, the face of boxing in the UK, one of the GB squad, the pretty boy, you know, the big fan base. And he was just built too quickly for success. Yeah. He tumbled that night, and boxing's a cruel sport. Tumbled that night against Avanesian, and really, it was him and Adam who were sitting there, and they picked up the pieces, started work. The first time I met Josh before we signed him, he certainly wasn't at fighting weight. And he came through all that. And the night against Troy, where he had so many doubters still, the big stage, big crowd, you know, almost 2 million people on free-to-air television, that was a weight of the world on his shoulders. And I'll tell you something, when in the dressing room beforehand, and I've never seen a dressing room like it, they were all singing, dancing.
Josh's dressing room?
Yeah, but they made me dance in the dressing room. I'm not a good dancer.
No, I've seen
So
you.
I think that really put him in the mood. And he just done a job on him. You know, 12 rounds of boxing skill, you know, off the ropes. You know, you've seen the screen, the shots of it. Yeah,
couldn't believe it.
But it wasn't just a win, it was a closing of a chapter, you know, and here we go again, number 2 in the world now. But take away those world title opportunities, because that division's getting very interesting. What happens with the belts, with Charlo, etc. Look at the domestic scene. You know, Smith, Eubank, potentially a Ben coming back, all around that way. Kell Brook in the mix as well. You've almost got a Super 6 or a Super 5 going on. You know, domestically, big fights looming.
It's interesting you say that domestically, because I was thinking about him from a world title perspective, because you're right, Jamal Charlo probably will vacate. after the Canelo fight, so the belts
they'll
will be scattered.
They'll definitely fragment those belts.
And
definitely.
he's what? Josh's number 2, number 3 in the WBO?
Number two.
So he's in line for something.
Yeah, I mean, we mustn't forget, Corzo's top 10 as well.
Yeah.
So let's not look past Saturday because it's a live fight.
Of course.
Unbeaten. Undefeated,
Corzo,
18-0, tough Argentinian, top 10 in the world. So, but at the same time, once you step up to the stage like he did in December against Troy, you can't come back down and have a tune-up. So this is the fight that keeps the journey going, pushes those world federations. We believe this fight is practically a final eliminator for a world title shot. And, if it can happen to anyone nicer and who more deserves it in this sport, from coming back from really being down, not even on the floor, I'd say under the ring, to come back like this, it's a fantastic story.
It is. Final one on Josh. It was 3 fights last year. Almost, I think, 3 that went under the radar because the Troy Williamson one was so big. First fight this year. Is the plan to have maybe one more before the end of the year so he stays busy?
Yeah, no, absolutely. He will be out again in the autumn. Again, we can't look past Saturday. Last year was a bit different. We were obviously bringing him back off that long layoff, rebuilding. So it's about the names now. Saturday, big fight again against top 10 in the world, but it's about the next step from there. But we can't lose sight of what's going to happen on Saturday night.
Yeah, I love the co-main event as well. Kez Ashfaq, I think, just gone just behind my shoulder here now. Takes on Liam Wilson.
Yeah,
super featherweight scrap.
I think
good
the first
scrap.
ever British-born Pakistani to try and win a British title. Cracking fight. I think it's got fireworks from the first bell all over it. You know what I love about these British title fights? They always seem to deliver.
Always.
They always seem to deliver. We talk about Europeans and world championships, but really the British scraps, they know each other. They know each other from the gym circuits, the sparring sessions. They know each other, and there's always that extra bit of spite. And let's face it, really, Britain is the only place in the world, having promoted all over the place. I can't think of any domestic scene that has the privilege of having that belt, and it's a massive belt to take you onto things. And you see the way it's contested. It's always lively.
Yeah, it really is. I think every single card should have a heavyweight on it. And we've got a big one in Steve Robinson.
It's a fun one, eh? It's a fun one. Drago.
Yes,
the new key Drago.
Yeah.
And, it's a fight. He's got a point to prove. And, those heavyweight fights, they've got to be on a card, Also, Chloe Watson. She's just been announced for a European challenge.
Nice.
Actually, we won the purse bids this week, so she's got to get through Saturday.
Yeah.
The Fighting Pride of Birkenhead. I always mix it up with Liverpool, but I'm not allowed to do that.
Birkenhead, yeah.
She always ticks me off about that. So the Fighting Pride of Birkenhead has it all on the line Saturday night as well. Cody Smith, Yorkshireman. He's got 200 very loud Yorkshiremen coming up here on Saturday night. By the way, special announcement, there will be the official England national football team brass band in the house on Saturday night.
Don't miss a trick, do you?
So don't miss a trick, but we know the North East loves a night out with a bit of beer, a bit of boxing, so we thought the brass band, call it the 3 Bs.
Yeah, it should be a fantastic night. Samuel Antwi's here as well, former English welterweight champion.
Trained by Adam Booth.
Yeah, trained by Adam Booth. Really good fighter, looking to get back to that British mix as well. Away from the card, so much I want to ask you. Eubank, what's going on? Is it going to be Smith? Is it going to be Ben? Everyone wants to know.
Well, right. I mean, everyone's talking about this Ben fight, but currently, Ben has, I believe, a hearing, etc. So we're focused on the Smith fight. We're trying to get that over the line. Of course, the Ben fight is massive, but I can't talk about fights that simply aren't on the table at the moment. So, I wish an end, to be honest, with that whole situation, because it's gone on for far too long. I hope they make the right outcome, whatever that right outcome is. I don't know all the facts. I don't know all the figures. I don't know all the information, despite what people think. And that part is really, it's just that chapter's got to close and move forward. But right now, Liam Smith, we're in final negotiations there. It's not an easy one because it's moved 3 times. So I'd say that the levels of trust are not the highest right now. But we're trying to find a solution and hopefully have news shortly.
And final one from me, Calla. Obviously, we both fly out to Nashville for Misfits 008.
Yeah,
Show
an
keeps on
all
rolling on.
different type of card.
Completely
I'm
different.
still trying to get the rules of this Survivor.
I'm trying to work it out. I got the press conference. I'm trying to work it
team
out.
because this is going to be mad. I mean, basically, I've worked it out on the train up here actually today.
Go on.
It's just basically everyone against everyone, and you've got to see it that way. It's not a tag team. The tag is a bit.
No, there's more than tag. This is like Royal Rumble.
This is the only way you can legitimately do a Royal Rumble in a boxing ring.
Yeah.
But no, approved by the commission over there. Looking forward to our first ever show in Nashville.
Yeah.
Amazing city, and it's great to be back in the US with Misfits.
It certainly is. Can't wait for that Misfits 008. But before that, obviously, Saturday night, it is a big one as well from Newcastle. Good to see Josh Kelly fighting up here again. I love Josh Kelly up here because the noise is crazy. He takes on the unbeaten Argentinian Gabriel Corzo. That gets underway at 7 o'clock. And then what you need to do after that event is have a coffee, put your feet up, wait till 1 o'clock in the morning because we go to Detroit. Alicia Baumgardner versus Christina Nadatu.
Banger.
Double
well.
header.
That's a banger.
Great fight,
That's
isn't
a banger.
it? That really is. It's the only girl to beat Baumgardner
banger.
as well.
Absolute banger.
Yeah, it really is. So look, double header. We've got Josh Kelly versus Corzo, and we've got Alicia Baumgardner versus Christina Nadatu, all on DAZN.